Didn't you do an episode like a long time ago?
She did Logan Lucky.
Oh yeah, that was like I don't even remember that.
And I did Tenet. Oh,
Yeah.
the copy.
This is Penny.
Oh, Tenet. Yeah, I wasn't there for it.
Yeah. Same.
I'll watch it when it comes out on like Blu-ray.
What? It's really good.
Gary, it's gonna be worth it though, dude. I think you'll have some good insight on this movie.
All right, welcome to the Work in Progress Movie Podcast, episode 28. Today I do have Gary, Brian, and we have our returning guest, Karen. If you want to say hi, everyone.
Oh.
What's up, guys?
Hi. I have a pair on my name.
Oh my god. Yeah, Gary changed he edited his name and now there's a pair in it. You can't really see it because I have it.
It's a cute pair on it. Be sure to follow my Instagram to see the pair.
Are you going to take a picture of it and post it on there?
No, I'm not going to take a picture.
Do you need more followers on Instagram?
I don't need any followers.
All right.
Don't follow me.
I'll post it in the channel notes. It's okay.
Okay.
Today we're actually going to be talking about Halloween, the original. What year was this?
78.
1978.
All right, there we go. So I have y'all as backup. Because I totally wrote the wrong year in my notes. Without looking it up, I just typed it. I just wrote it, and I was like, nope, that's not the right year.
Just guessed.
Yeah. So this is the famous Michael Myers, white mask, brown hair, big ass knife. What is he in? Like
Yeah, huge knife, kitchen knife.
A maintenance
kitchen knife.
He's like in a maintenance suit, onesie.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
mechanic suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we ever see the character. Man, it's such an old movie. I'm like already annoyed with it. So yeah, it's the first time we get to see. We're introduced to Michael Myers from the great John Carpenter. Gary's excited, and pretty much, what are y'all doing? Gary just like spit out her drink and like just looking at y'all.
Gary caught me off guard with that.
If y'all on the YouTube, these guys are picking their noses. Alrighty. So what do y'all want to bring up first? What do you want to go with? First topic. Let's go.
Well, I'll say that I've never seen this movie before. I've only seen the Rob Zombie version of Halloween, like the reboot, which is okay. But I was excited to watch this movie because I love old scary movies. It's pretty much the only ones I do like. But I would say like the beginning, John Carpenter directing and music, like you can't get more iconic than the theme song for Halloween. It's awesome. It puts you in the mood. And yeah, I don't know. I love the intro just because it's so iconic. It's an iconic song. It's an iconic theme song.
It's such a basic intro too. Like it's just
it's just a jack-o'-lantern floating with names.
Which was funny because I feel like that's like the life of it, and they even say that too. I remember them saying that they released a rough cut before, like a test screening, but it didn't really have the music. It was just maybe like a little bit of like the screen audio and stuff like that. Not really any music. So when they threw that in there, they gave it the green light. Like that kind of put everything together. And of course, the theme song. I mean, that's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Karen, you said this was your first time watching it as well, right?
I think so.
You don't remember it?
Well, I probably watched it when I didn't know any English, so it doesn't count.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like that intro is like, well, one, I have a that note. The music in that movie has given me like PTSD since I was a kid. My stepdad as a kid, like he loved this movie, and whenever Halloween would come around, he would be playing that song nonstop in the house. And I hated it. Like he knew I hated it, so he did it on purpose.
Yeah. Sneak up on you.
Especially like when he had it as his ringtone as well. So he'll be walking
Oh,
around
I
like the
remember
whole
that.
yeah. Brian knows.
For the longest time, he had it on his phone. That's all you would hear.
The best part is he had that ringtone specifically for when my mom called. So like it was hilarious. He has that one in The Godfather. Those are the two ringtones he has for her. So yeah, it shows how much she runs the house. No, no, but yeah, there's like a note. I think it's the high note that like it makes me like flinch every time I hear it. But yeah, like that, the whole pumpkin. I think it's like deteriorating too, right? Like you can kind of see it like mold, like getting a little moldy there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I love that pumpkin that's up in the beginning.
Yeah, because you're just like, oh look, it's a pumpkin, and then it just starts deteriorating. You're like, oh, what's going on there? Dude, so I do not, because I haven't seen this movie in about 20 years. Like I watched it today for the first time in like 20 years. I totally do not remember that whole opening scene where they're like going to the psychiatric place.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. And then, is that him like climbing the car at like the very beginning, or is that just a random patient?
I thought it was him too because he takes the car, which he uses like throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, like
I don't think that's him on the car, but he does take the car because it's actually what I believe it's a guy and his son, and he ends up killing the both of them, taking the car.
I think you're thinking of the sequel.
Is that two?
That's the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one right here, it's just like, because it's like the nurse or whatever, because they like go to the psychiatric place and like everyone's out and about. And
yeah,
then,
I remember them running.
And then he just like pulled like a full like chimpanzee move and just jumped on the car. And I'm like, wait, I don't remember Michael Myers being like that, like ever. I thought he was just like simple, walk around and kill people kind of person. But he like freaking like somersaults on that car and like takes it from her.
Well, that's literally all you get from him as far as any activity like that.
Yeah, that's the only time you've ever seen him do something like that.
Any more than a light walking.
Yeah. It was a young Michael, you know.
He was very flexible, just jumping everywhere. So we're like, I guess, what were y'all thoughts on like maybe like I guess the opener, like our like first tease of Michael Myers was like from his point of view, I guess. Like, is there a reason why he killed his sister?
No reason. It basically was like they kind of break it down later on down the line, but it's like a curse. I just don't know where. They don't really specifically say where is it from or like how he got it and stuff like that. But that's what kicks it off, is that curse. He after killing his sister and all that. Yeah, that was like the starter.
He just doesn't talk ever again.
I think it's called the Curse of Thorn.
I don't know, because I was wondering too, like, why did he kill his sister? It never says. You know that he comes back years later to get revenge, but he's the one that did it, so it doesn't all totally make sense. I didn't really get that either. I just know like he was back in the same town to kill some more.
I actually did just Google Curse of Thorn, and it pretty much says that the Curse of Thorn is placed on a child by the cult leader. It commands that child to kill his entire family as a blood sacrifice to keep the cult alive.
Okay,
so there is some form of mythology behind this?
Yeah, it's got mythology and supernatural shit into it. That's why I just couldn't remember off the top, but I was like, the Curse of Thorn. I was like, I know that's a big deal in it.
Okay.
I will say I thought that the mask like point of view was super cool, like when he puts his mask on and he reaches. I thought that was really cool.
It's like a little raccoon.
Yeah, and I wrote down like, damn, what a kitchen knife, dude. That is an enormous kitchen knife.
Oh yeah.
That is crazy.
I think in one scene it shows a lady like doing a sandwich with that big ass knife. I'm like, nope. Really? I'm like, out of all the knives, you get the biggest one, and you're like, They get PB&J.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, like the only part that like bothered me with that scene was just like when he was showing his arms. They look like little tiny little fingers.
Yeah, the arm looked fake. The arm for sure looked fake.
It looked hilarious.
It was a little prop.
It looked like way too long for like a little kid's arm reaching down. Yeah. But it was kind of funny.
Yeah, like you get the raccoon eyes and you get the long ass arms.
Do you know? Because like in the scene where they're going to the psychiatric hospital and the nurse is smoking, it zooms in on the pack of cigarettes.
Yep.
And the pack of cigarettes, it says Rabbit and Red Lounge. That's where she gets her cigarettes from. But I don't know what that means. And like I wrote down a couple things what it could mean or what I thought it meant throughout the entire movie, but I never got a definitive answer.
So the only reason why I think they did that was because when he finds the car, when he's like calling in at the telephone booth, and we see the abandoned car, when he looks down, he finds the packets again.
Yeah,
so
that's the only
thing that I could think of why they even bothered showing us what the packet looked
like.
Okay.
Because like I was trying to dig into some symbolism, and I was like, okay, are people like rabbits, and he's like the wolf chasing them? And it's like the packet of cigarettes is red, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but every single scene has something red in it. Every single scene in this movie, and it's red, white, black, and orange. Like those are all the colors in almost every single scene. And I was trying to figure out like, okay, the cigarette pack is red. Maybe like white is supposed to be the rabbit, like innocence, and he's killing all of these rabbits. I was trying to like dig the entire movie, but I could never get like a definitive answer.
Doesn't he have like a weird fetish about killing people that are like in a mood to like have sex or something?
Oh
like that?
Yeah, I think because that's when he like walked in on his sister.
Yeah.
And they were doing their thing, so he's not having it. He's like, no.
And so like I think Red was just like what was this like? I can't remember what movie it was. We talked about Red being like it's Pan's Labyrinth. But like just like the fact that like Red, I guess, symbolized either, you know, like maturity. Girls are like, I don't want to get into this shit.
Well, I mean, like red. I mean, red in general is like blood, passion, anger.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to that Pan's Labyrinth area.
Yeah, clearly that's a whole nother like level of symbolism and stuff like that. But
yeah, there's red everywhere.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I'm trying to think. How old are these kids? Like Laurie Strode?
She's in high school. She's like like 17, 18?
Okay. I'm trying to think of like how people look at like movies now. Like whenever you see like kids that are like in high school, do they look as old as they do in these?
Dude, and this goes back all the way to 78. Everyone they've casted as a high schooler at that time never looked that age.
That's what I was curious. I was like, because I feel like now some of them like are like passing off as like high schoolers, but like back then, most definitely not.
Yeah.
Like in Greece, there's like a few of them that look like they're 30 already.
It's okay, Gary. Gary had that facial hair when he was in high school. So
like
okay.
Annie does not look like a high schooler.
No.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's hard. It's hard because we've seen her since like grow up, so it's hard for us to even imagine her being in high school at this point.
That's true.
But like her friends, and like especially the guys that are having sex with her friends, I don't know.
Dude, those look like, honestly, they look like people that are trying to be pimps or something, but I don't know.
They look like beginning porn stars.
Yeah. That's what, the guy with the glasses and the hair, the like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like.
So, yeah, it's
it's turning into like Boogie Nights or something.
Boogie Nights, yeah.
But yeah, once the tops come off, you know who's around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always there. He's got the heartbeat detector from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's beeping faster. Dude, so is it just me or do they really like enhance his like breathing in this movie?
I like it.
I didn't like.
Oh yeah,
it's creepy,
he's got like a
but
Darth Vader deal without the respirator. You can just hear that deep. Yeah. Oh my god. I think that's what creeped me out as a kid too, was him like creeping around with that inhale, exhale. You could hear that from the next room.
Yeah. And I do like how the kids are like I guess the kid that was being bullied or whatever. One, they fucked up his jack-o'-lantern, which was a dick move, but but like how they're saying like the boogeyman, like they're like calling him the boogie, or like not even calling him specifically the boogeyman, but like they're just saying like the boogeyman's gonna come after you. And then like when the kid is like trying to scare like the little girl, and then he looks out and sees her, he immediately like screams and freaks out. So, like, there's a boogeyman out there. So
I like the breathing. I think it makes him almost one. It's like more tense and it's cool because you're like in his body in his shoes. But also like when he kills people, he sounds like an animal. Like he's like, like he's grunting. He's grunting like an animal.
Yeah.
And it's like more frightening because he is just going for it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Was there any topics that I wanted to go into, like specifically? Anything you wanted to ask us?
There.
I'll tell you once I stop crossing off stuff on my list.
Okay. Because I was like, I have another one I could bring up, so I just want to know.
Throw that one out right now.
So the only thing like I was gonna bring up was how it takes about 54 minutes for him to get his first like on-screen kill. And one like he's like choking her, right? Like from behind the car, like he's in the back seat and choking her. Like once she's struggling for like a good like minute, and then what does he do? Does he slice her throat? Because I saw no blood or anything. I just saw his hand movement, but I saw no like cut.
It was like a quick, like a slick, like a.
Like he did it like from back here. Like I guess we just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I think it was just a real clean slice.
Coke.
It took a while for him to choke her out too.
Yeah, that's all. I was like, she's still going for a while.
which I thought was interesting. It's not like modern horror or modern Halloween movies where it's real easy. He's like has this inhuman strength and just done.
See,
like it takes a while.
They always portrayed him as like inhuman. Like
yeah.
I mean, in this one, I guess because this is the first one, they didn't really do the whole inhuman part. Just I don't know.
Yeah, because even like Dr. Loomis, you know, in his like explaining of Michael as a patient and stuff like that, he always throws it out there like this.
Like
he's
this
just evil.
Yeah, he's not human.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
Yeah, he's just pure evil.
Yeah, I do like Dr. Loomis. What are y'all thoughts on Dr. Loomis?
I love Dr.
I like
Loomis. I really do. He's like they're like the perfect pair for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but like
Karen's face, she's like, "What?"
It's because it's weird because he's so fascinated by him. Like he goes into like wanting to learn about the family, the murders, in Michael's head. He's like the only one that's gotten anywhere with Michael, so that's why he plays like a big part in this.
Yeah, they're totally star-crossed lovers. Oh, what are you drinking?
Gary. Which one's this one? Ooh, the strawberry stout.
Oh yeah, that looked.
Oh.
Did you get that from Flying Saucer or what?
Oh my.
Yes, we did.
Nice.
I need to get some more glasses like this though.
I need to go to Flying Saucer and get more drinks. Back to being on topic. Yeah, like Dr. Loomis, because this is the first time we see him. Loomis, yes.
Yeah.
It's like our first time seeing him, and like every scene with him, he's just talking about Michael. How he says he's been his psychiatrist for like 15 years, and he's never said a word. To this guy's like probably the most dangerous person you could ever run into. And then he talks about him being inhuman or not human at all. We don't get too much of him. Now that I think about it, like I did not realize. I guess I don't know if it's because my mind is putting all the previous movies together that he's in with him. That's why I feel like he just doesn't have much screen time at all in this movie.
Dr. Loomis?
Yeah, me too.
But I think it's.
But then, like, if he doesn't get that much screen time, like, how important is he really in the movie? At least in this movie. And like, why do you want him to have more screen time?
In specific movie, I guess because he's the only person that knew that this guy was like where he was going before he even went. Mm-hmm. He was the one that was pretty much like keeping an eye on Michael's old house.
But it's funny because like even though later like before like he got out like and he wasn't talking to Loomis, like he was just giving him the silent treatment, he still was in Michael's head. So like it's like how you said he was always a step ahead. He knew where Michael was gonna go.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
I think it was interesting how easily like the sheriff trusted him. He's just like, yeah, all right. I'll go look around the houses for you. I'm the only sheriff in town. I'm good to go. Erin, any thoughts so far?
About what you guys are saying, or just
anything
about Dr. Loomis?
I mean, I like Dr. Loomis. I like his amount of screen time that he had. Did you just take off your headphones on purpose?
No, he can't hear us. Remember?
Oh, he's really serious.
My headphones died.
Oh, okay.
How did they die? Aren't they plugged in?
Well, I have to. Well, no, they're. This is just a head jack. This one actually, I have to like charge up.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I don't know. I liked him. I also liked that he was one step ahead, and I liked that he tried killing him, and then when he saw outside the window, he was like, "Oh shit, he ain't dead." And
Yeah,
I was like, oh, he's still alive.
he gone.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I have to say about that. But overall, the only thing that really bothered me, I know you guys don't want to talk about it.
Go for it.
Was a sex scene. Like, who really is satisfied with that type of sex? Like, I wanted to be settling for the least, but I was just, yeah, I'm so sorry. I was really upset at her. I was like, you're not about to settle for this shit. Like,
Wait, what?
and he was really whack in bed. Like, he was like, oh, he's like, oh yeah. And I was looking at them, like, just thinking, is that really how they used to have sex?
Are you talking about like the scene like where they're like right after where like they're smoking in the bed?
Yeah, and then she was like, "Do you want a beer?" He's like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Is that all you can say?" He's like, "Yeah," and then it's just like, kill me. Like I just wanted to like slap both of them.
That was like the bad boy tough guy act, you know.
Was it though? Because it didn't seem like it.
For that time, it worked. I don't know why.
But they're having sex like all night. Like previous to that, they had sex on the couch. They both seem satisfied. You know.
He was probably just faking it. She doesn't know what real sex is.
Oh wow.
Dang.
I think they're all faking it, aren't they? They're acting.
I don't know. I was just very upset at that.
But also, they're high schoolers. Do high schoolers know what good sex is?
Good point.
There you go.
They just want to like fuck like rabbits and then move on and then have sex again like 30 minutes later.
That's so true.
They're satisfied. I'm satisfied with the scene. It's fine.
We're good.
I mean, that's where we get the awesome whole like where he goes downstairs and dude. Okay, yeah. I will say the cheesy part was when he told her like, "Don't get dressed while I'm gone."
Oh my gosh, I know. I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'll say that was really cheesy, but like when he goes downstairs and he knows that somebody's fucking with him, and then you just have like the classic like, "Oh, he's hiding in the closet," like pops up and kills him. But the scene where where he comes up with the bed sheet and then the glasses over the bed sheet.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was pretty hilarious. And then she's like, "Oh, you like what you see?" And he's just like standing there, like dead quiet, like the entire time until she like turns.
He's there with the glasses.
Yeah.
I was surprised those glasses stayed on that long. That was pretty funny.
Oh man, I never forget that. But like, I love how they keep that throughout the years and like the sequels. He does something cheeky like that.
Yeah, like he's like impersonating
like
somebody.
He does little things like that.
Yeah.
Like just for example, like in the latest Halloween, there's a scene.
Wait, we don't want to see. We don't want to mess it with because that's gonna be the next movie actually.
Oh, okay. Well then we'll wait for that one. But he likes to leave like his little mark, little trails like of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we'll leave a little spoilers, like all spoilers from that one for the next one.
I know I'm gonna be like Mark Ruffalo in spoiler.
Have your phone at the premiere of a movie. It's Facebook Live it. That was pretty funny.
Oh, we out here.
Yeah, so I guess it's really hard to go in depth in this movie only because it's the first one. You don't really get much details. It's just supposed to be like a classic horror film where you kind of get what you get, like what you get. I will say like the whole scene, like that house scene, like where he kills all three of them. Like the first girl, he killed when she was in the car, and he's just carrying her out in the front, like nothing except for the kids saw her. No one believed him. He already killed the other couple, where it's the other girl. He strangles her while she's calling Lori.
Yeah,
and Lori thinks that she's like having sex or something, like on the phone.
And then she's like, "Oh."
Wait. Like dying from the headphones or from the phone line.
Yeah, the what do you call that cord? That like I don't know.
Telephone cord.
Well, yeah, but they had in that era those little spiral cords were like the thing. So she got choked to death by a spiral cord, telephone cord.
Yeah. And then, so what makes Lori go into the house?
I forgot whose house it was.
It was her friends.
The friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she goes just because she doesn't know if she was faking something on the phone, right? I mean,
Yeah, like she
Isn't
got
that where she
worried.
goes?
I think she got worried or
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I like the kid. The kid's like, no one ever listens to me. Like, no one ever believes me.
pretty much. That was kind of funny.
Never listens to me. I'm telling you.
It's like it's really happening.
The boogeyman's out there. I'm telling you.
Dude, those kids in that TV.
I love the TV because like it's like meta commentary. Like it's showing his other movie on TV. Like it's showing The Thing while they're at home.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the TV, like the audio coming from the TV kind of sets up certain scenes. Like there's one scene where they're watching like a collection of horror movies and the announcer on the TV is like, lock your doors, turn off the lights. Like the TV is basically telling us like what's going to happen next. And it's like commenting as the movie is going on in real time.
Yeah.
Prepping everyone.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
So I guess like after like when she goes into the house to go check on her friends.
Yeah.
The first time she sees them or she runs into them is after she finds the bodies, right?
Yeah, and he puts that poor girl in like this. I didn't even like a closet or
It's like where
something.
you put your towels and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like upside down. She's like torqued, and her head is just like.
And
hanging.
cross-eyed, really?
He moved her eyes that way. Well, she was choked. What happens when you choke? Do your eyes go cross? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what happens when you get choked. So like yeah, like she finds her two friends, and then the other guy like just freaking, he's like upside down, and like when she opens the door, he just like swings out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. And then she runs into Michael.
She ends
And-
up stabbing him, right? She stabs him in the neck.
Yeah, because the
Knitting
first time,
needle.
because he sneaks up behind her, and then somehow he just magically misses.
Yeah.
Like he misses. I'm like, bro, you've been killing all these people.
Like,
What
how you
happened?
I thought you were a killer. What's up?
Like, bro, you good? You go a little cross-eyed there, or what? He just like missed and got her in the arm.
Maybe he was excited. He was
like-
like, oh, yeah.
He's like, yes, she's not paying attention. I got her. Miss.
Yeah.
So yeah, like she misses. He misses, and then like you get that like long scene of her not being able to open the door with because the rake is blocking it. I'm like,
Yeah.
like why are
I
you not
know,
just
she
breaking the
takes a
glass?
second. When she takes a second too on that damn door, she's like,
Yeah, it's like a minute of her just like staring at that rake. Like, are you gonna move by yourself or?
I'm like, do something. He's right. He's coming. I mean, he doesn't move fast, but he's coming.
Like he don't run, but he's gonna take those knees to chest.
Yeah,
and just
I
walk
mean,
it.
he's a speed walker at sometimes, you know.
Yeah, like he just like she breaks the glass to move the rake finally, and she gets away, and then like the kid, like the best part is like when she like runs to the house like screaming like for the kid to like let her in. He's like he's like slowly walking.
I know. I was like, dude, the damn kid. I'm like, she's over here like screaming bloody murder, and this guy's like, yeah.
But I love like the first house she goes to, they open the window, they have the lights on, and then they just close the window blinds and turn the light off.
Yeah, they're just ignoring her.
Yeah.
like nope, we do not want any part of this.
Like you're obviously faking it's Halloween.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually.
That like leads to like the second scene like where he bothers me because like somehow he misses again. Like when he gets in and like he's like trying to stab her in the arm or something, and he stabs just the cushion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he misses her again, and like she just like oh look me first try, stabs him in the neck. So how many times does he fake death like dead like
Twice.
twice, right? Is this including the last one?
In the first movie?
In this movie?
In this movie? Yeah, twice.
Yeah, twice. Twice. If you can say 3 times if you want to count like the one outside.
Okay, so it's twice inside. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just thought like, dude, why do you keep throwing the knife away from you? Like stabbed him in the neck the first time, and she picked up the knife and looked at it on the couch and she threw it away. She's like, oh, finally done. And then it comes back again in the closet. She stabs him again. He's laying down. She looks at the knife, throws it away. Oh, finally done.
I like
Stop throwing the knife away. What are you doing?
I
I
like
was
that
like, let
second
me
time
tell you
though.
what
They
I
get
like
into a
too.
tussle during that second time, and they're like strangling each other.
Are we talking
Kind
about
of, yeah.
Are we talking about like after? Okay, so like because we have the closet scene, which is where she gets a knife and stabs him.
She gets to like the
Yeah, 'cause he
hanger.
breaks through the damn door like it's
Yeah.
cardboard.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean that practically is I mean we've all had those closets before. Those things
Yeah.
suck. So like yeah, like you have that scene where she stabs him again, this time with a knife, and then he's just laying dead, laying down. And
Yeah.
then so the scene that you're talking about where they're struggling is after that part, right? It's like when he gets back
Yeah.
up. Okay.
That's when the doctor like comes and saves her.
Okay. Yeah, like this whole ending part, like from her getting into that house to the end of the movie, is practically 10 minutes, I think. Right? It was very short.
so Dr.
Probably.
Lewis comes in. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
a short movie. I think it's only like an hour and 30 minutes or something like that. But
Yes, yeah.
so like you just get that scene where they're doing the little struggle, and then like of course like going back to the doctor when how you said about the sheriff like believing him like immediately. I'm assuming only because one he called ahead of time, told them, and then he told him about the vehicle being missing, and then he told him, like, hey, look, I found the vehicle. He is here. So I think that's why he believed him maybe quickly. Wasn't the sheriff's kids one of them that died?
That I don't know.
Was he
If they
the girl that
were,
drove the
there
car?
was.
Oh yes. Yes.
Annie.
Yes. Yeah, so like his kid's dead.
Yeah. So he's
he doesn't even know about it.
Yeah, he never gets any like emotional,
He doesn't
like,
even know.
response to it. Yeah.
So it's just interesting like how they chose to do this movie. But yeah, like you get that whole scene where they're struggling and the doctor like runs in and shoots him.
Yes. And just in the nick of time too, because he was like already about to put in some work on.
Gets a headshot on him.
Yeah. But he
Oh.
basically comes in out of nowhere and
Because that's where we see his face.
Yeah, he takes off his mask.
Oh, well,
Lori.
that's what I was working up to. So when they were strangling each other, which was pretty cool, I thought that was awesome. Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael, just there, Lori and Michael, I should say, strangling each other, and she ends up getting his mask.
That's what
Takes
stops him,
it
right?
off. For a brief, like few seconds, you get to see a side of his face.
I didn't remember that. I don't remember seeing his face ever. So that threw me off. Like when she
That's
took
the
off his
thing,
mask.
too, and that's what went over me too. I was like, oh shit, I don't remember them showing his face in the first movie. I mean, we do see it later on down the line, but
Yeah.
I forgot about part one. So
Yeah. So I'm thinking like this is John Carpenter's. Like, is this like a director's cut? Because I do not remember this at all. Because like he's missing his eye too.
yeah, they do have that one too, though.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
that's
like
pretty-
he's missing his eye. So that's why I was like, wait, I don't remember this. So anyways,
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Her grabbing it and taking it off, like I was like, damn, I forgot about that.
yeah.
And then he puts it on real quick, puts it right back on. Right when he gets it on, that's when Loomis busts in and he's like, dude.
Loomis is like probably like the only character that like does not like, I guess like second guess what he's gonna do. He's like, no, I'm killing this bitch. Like he needs to
Yeah.
die.
Oh yeah.
Because every
Yeah,
horror
he's
movie, you see like a cop, you see somebody that has a chance to kill the killer, and they don't they just stare at the guy. And this guy's like, nope, shoot.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I like about like Dr. Loomis, because he shoots him twice. Second time he falls off the balcony,
Yeah.
and then we get the epic whole like, oh, he's gone, but he actually is gone. He walked away.
I love that though. That they keep that up through the series. How he he plays possum for a couple minutes. They go, they look, or they talking to someone.
And
Oh,
he
okay.
just disappears.
They look back down. Where the fuck did he go? He's
It's
gone.
like Batman.
Yeah. Let me turn your back. He's
That's
gone.
the teleported man, you know?
It's the horror of Batman. It's God, I can't remember the storyline where he's just like a villain or something like that. But yeah, like, so what were your thoughts on the whole stalker portion of it? That's pretty much like the first 30 minutes of the movie.
I liked it for the fact that I knew that just because I love this movie for a long time. I've seen this every Halloween since I can't even remember,
Mm-hmm.
like tradition. But they wrote back. Damn, I'm sorry. What was that you just said?
They wrote back what?
What was that you just said right now? I'm sorry.
What did I say?
I almost dropped something.
You talking
What
about
we
like
were
the stalker
sorry.
part?
The stalker, yes, yes. So I remember them saying that it was supposed to be called the Babysitter Murders.
Oh, you're talking about the original title, right?
Yeah, so that's what the stalker, part of it reminded me of that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was, well, if it was called that, I could definitely see that. But I kind of like how it's kind of like how like a tiger or like a lion sneaks up on a
On the prey.
L or something, he's about to get him. Yeah, so that's kind of what that is for me. That's I see it like that, and
Hmm.
it's the build up is pretty awesome on that.
Yeah, like I guess another question would be like, why did he choose to stalk them? Is it just because he saw them when she put the key under the house or something?
Could be.
That's a good question, but at the same time, though, he's like Loomis said, a pure evil. So when he was going down the block to those houses, he was killing everyone. He went in through he was going through like the back part, so he was going into houses, killing them, and then walking right out the next house,
Hmm.
on the hunt towards going towards that house that he was
Hmm.
going to.
Yeah, because his first victim is the guy that was the maintenance guy, where you find his dead body in his truck there, and the second victim that we see was the first babysitter.
Hmm.
But other than that, like, what led to that point was just her dropping the key off at the house that he was inside, and that was it.
Yeah.
So,
You got there.
all right. Did y'all have anything on y'all's notes that we missed so far?
While you guys are looking, I wanted to add, since we are mentioning like why did he like, pretty much bullseye her trying to like, find a target. Maybe it's because she reminded him of his sister.
Yeah, that could actually be a good possibility because what he gets his first glance on her back, right?
Yeah.
And he probably just sees
No.
like the hair and everything.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay.
So it was like someone young around the same time as his sister, and then next thing you know, the other targets were people around the same age as his sister that were like sexually active. Again, like you guys mentioned, where they're just horn dogs.
Yeah, because what the first body is placed like at or not the first. I don't know if it was the first body, but just the body like of the one of the girls, and then like you have the sister's gravestone on there at the top of it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, he's probably just recreating her death. Psycho.
Well, they most are.
Torment. It's like a torment for him. He's like I'm trying to end this. I'm gonna end you.
He's like, I'm gonna end every single girl that's babysitting and having sex and on Halloween.
And if they're having sex along the way, I'm taking them out too.
No. Right. Did y'all find anything else notes? I didn't write any, so. Gary, why you gotta do it like that, man? Why you gotta be creepy?
Oh, okay. I did want to add that for it being a low budget movie, the shots and everything like that were great. They, like I said, they didn't have money for this movie, so they even let the actors wear their own natural, like their just own wardrobe, like clothes, everyday clothes. So that gave it like a vintage, like a 70s feel, because you see Jamie Lee Curtis in those bell bottoms with the striped shirts and stuff like that's, all 70s right there. So that's pretty cool. But the shots though, there's this perfect like shot of a widescreen shot of like Michael's view of the street and like, Lori down the street. There's a few shots like that, and it's of him like just basically gazing down, like he's watching, he's talking. Yeah. But that view, that widescreen view, it's amazing, especially where they shot that like neighborhood and stuff like that. It just has fall written all over it, and it puts you in the mood for October.
Yeah, like I like those scenes where it's just like the neighborhood, the whole street, because you kind of like it like forces you to look, like you're looking for him.
Yeah, you're looking at the whole thing. You're like scanning the whole thing.
You're like, where is he? Where's he gonna pop up? Especially like the part where they're walking and he pops out from the side of the hedges. he pops out and he's like, all right, bye. It just reminds me of like the Homer Simpson gif where he like walks into the bushes.
Oh yeah,
it just reminded me of that. I thought that was pretty funny. And then the other one was with the bed sheet one.
The bed sheet for sure. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like that's if you were to put that up, like let's just say like on like Facebook or something like that, you have tons of people who would message you about that.
Yeah.
Halloween. It's an iconic. I love how even Rob Zombie did it in his
Yep.
remake of it, his reimagining, I should say.
He did simple stuff like that.
Yeah, keeping it kind of. I mean, it's his own take on it, but he those little ties to the originals. I love that.
Yeah, because that came out back in 2007, so I don't remember it too well. I think I saw.
Yeah,
I know I saw.
Danny Trejo's in it.
What is he
He's
doing?
doing it.
Michael.
Oh,
No! Michael.
I remember that now.
Look to
Okay.
you.
And that one.
Come on, Mikey.
Did they ever say what happened to Michael's parents in that first movie? Because the only time I see them is when they find him with the knife.
It's just his mom. He just has the mom, and the mom is basically, she has a revolving door for stepdads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
it.
know, he doesn't really have a father figure. It's just the guy who's camping out there.
Okay.
And then the matchsticks are the same club that the mom works at. So the Rabbit and Red Lounge in this
Yes.
movie, she works at that club in that movie. So
And
he ties it in the
Rob-
modern.
Those little,
The Rob Zombie
In the
one?
Rob Zombie, in the
Okay.
Rob Zombie one.
Okay.
So he ties it in,
Okay.
which
I
is
like it.
which is pretty cool.
So it's just supposed to be like a retelling, I guess, but just more details
Yeah,
from Michael at least.
it's similar. The teenagers are still having sex a bunch. You know,
Yeah,
it's
usual.
pretty close.
I feel like that was a common thing for slasher movies for the late 70s, early 80s, because even Jason was like that.
Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, you know, he would come across, you know, people getting it on and put a pole through both of them.
Oh, I remember that. He kills both of them on one pole.
Yeah, one just.
Yeah, I remember
I was like, damn.
that. Was there any last minute things y'all want to go ahead and talk about?
Oh, I have so much.
All right. I mean, well, I didn't mean last minute. I didn't mean last minute, but like just like, you know, things you wanted to pull up.
It's like, oh god, I have too much.
Oh god, you have 30 seconds. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me check my notes here. Wait 1 second here.
What do you think about his mystique, though? Like his aura. Like it's fucking.
For me, the
for me,
music.
I find awesome. Like he's got this mystique to him, and he's like just his aura in general. Like just you feel like, oh man, this like.
I think he's cool. I wrote down that I think because this is the first time we see him, Dr. Loomis really is the only one who gives like a backstory to him and to his character and to his like legend. Because I think this movie like makes him a legend, even though it's the first one. So
Yeah.
he says like he's a demon. The eyes are black. They have nothing behind him. Like he's inhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like this is a reason why I like older horror movies. I mean, there's lots of reasons, but I think like the narratives and like the mystique of the killer is more interesting than modern. Like modern horror movies are like, oh, there's a child and she's possessed. The end. There's no like real backstory like this. Like you know he's a normal human, but he's also inhuman at the same time, and he's like being compared as like this demonic presence. There's even one scene where he's in Jason's old house, and he's talking to the cop, and he's giving him this spiel like he's this monster, he's this and that. And then the next scene is Jamie Lee Curtis on the couch watching TV, or she's on the couch reading King Arthur to the kid. And King Arthur is also a legend. Like he's also a made up fable. And it's like a good versus evil, fable versus fable, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like modern horror stories, like just, they don't do it for me because it's possession. It's something spiritual. It's something boring. It's a child with black hair and dead eyes and they're possessed. The end. This is like a normal person in a few ways. Yeah.
I love how you put that because you're like spot on.
Except for the part where you said Jason's house, because that's not Jason.
That's why.
Oh yeah, I always mix them.
That's why I always run back to old school horror, especially late '70s and '80s horror.
Mhm.
I love it. I'm a big fan. And like Gary said, it's so true because it's how they put it. It's just like he said, possessed. This is it. That's it. It doesn't get into it like how it used to be. And even like with horror comedy, like in the '80s, like Return of the Living Dead, like stuff like that. Like that shit is awesome.
What do you think? Because what do you think is like the most important thing to you or in general for scary movies? Either like what makes them scary. What am I trying to say? What's the most important thing to you for a scary movie to like meet its mark and be scary? Like I think of this movie, and not only is John Carpenter's like theme song so iconic and so awesome, also just like the like 70s effects, the sounds in this movie, like they're awesome and they put you on edge. Like does that make a scary movie for you, or is it like the set design, or is it like the killer themselves? Like what's more important to you?
I want to say the camera work, like it's like how we were talking about earlier, like how they give Michael a mystique, and even like with his mask and when he's putting it on and stuff like that, those views. I love that. Like you don't really know. You just know that he's just pure evil. So he carries his mystique about him until Loomis starts explaining like, further throughout the movie. So you get a feel for him. But that whole, yeah, I just love that. That whole, I didn't even know. That's why I was trying to say, like that aura of Michael. Like it's just, it goes a long way. Like that kind of, the way they build him up. We don't really get that now. It's more of jump scares.
Yeah, because I would tie it to modern scary movies too. Like I feel like modern scary movies, it's all about the visual and not really anything else. Like I feel like the sound design of this and other like older scary movies makes me more scared and makes me more frightened, because modern scary movies, like it's the same jump scare, it's the same exact formula, but this has just like cosmic sounds and you hear him breathing the whole time. Like there are a lot of effects that this movie does, an older scary movie does, that modern horror doesn't do.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. And it's dated, but it's dated well. Yeah. Because even if you've ever seen Escape from New York or his other escape movies, like he has cosmic sounds in it too that are just iconic as well.
Yes. Escape from New York is Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Karen? What about you? Like, I guess for scary movies, like, I don't know how often you watch scary movies or anything like that. Like,
I don't watch scary movies, but one of my favorite ones is actually dated back in 1960, which is really a lot older than this one. I know it's crazy, but it's something that I used to like to watch a lot when I lived in Houston, because they would like, I think it's a silent movie, by the way. I don't know. It's Psycho.
Psycho, yeah, Alfred Hitchcock's.
Yes. That was actually one of my favorite movies before the Bates thingy came out. I haven't even watched that. I'm sorry. But yeah, the breathing thing that you guys keep on mentioning, it wasn't scary to me. It was more, I guess, just because as a girl, when I hear people breathing like that, I'm like, that makes me uncomfortable, which I guess that's what they're trying to.
yeah.
The audience, like, oh, that's a creepy guy. And
you have asthma?
the stalking part, it reminds me, of course, now in modern days, I didn't see it as a horror film just because there was this movie a long time ago that I watched where it showed like how horror films are filmed, and ever since then I stopped liking horror films. Anyways, so with that being said, watching this movie now reminds me a lot of the Netflix original You. You know how he stalks all the time and then he kills. So it's just like, I see the resemblance right now. So yeah, I know. But overall,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I know it's really bad.
I like how you said that though, because like, but Joe has like that keen, like that, like look
picking
at
over.
you, creeper. Like start. He did have that. Okay, he did kind of have like a Michael Myers kind of stalker feel to him.
Yeah, like he's obsessed with somebody, but he like, well, it's just weird because, like at the time, like this movie, like Michael Myers, the way he stalks his prey is pretty much the only way you could stalk him at that time because they didn't have social media at that time. They have no way of actually knowing where they're at. You have to just follow them everywhere. And the way
Yeah.
that they do, like in Joe, for you, is social media. It's like,
Well, what do you mean? He was talking to that first girl. I don't even know her name.
yeah, he was stalking her, but I'm like saying like it shows how much easier it was for him to do it because he had social media.
That is true.
She's like posting like pictures of where she says, "Okay, I'm on my way." Just shows up. Like it's just crazy like how like that is a good kind of like a good example of how stalking is now. For me, like when it comes to like horror films, I've personally as a kid, I hated horror films. I was a chicken. I think Halloween was the worst one for me because of the music, but also like Child's Play. I hated dolls.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time with horror movies as a kid. And then like now like I'm not really the biggest fan of horror movies because they're so predictable. They're so cheesy. It's all about blood and gore and loud noises and it's just sucked. But looking back at this one, like for me, like a way like a horror film, like the only way I enjoy a horror film if it is as realistic as possibly as like it can literally happen to anybody. Like no spirits, no creatures, like no stupid dolls coming to life.
Yeah.
It's just a person that is completely out of their mind doing stuff like this. Which is why like Michael Myers is very much like one that is like that. Because in this one you don't see the superhuman strength, just a guy that's getting beat up.
Not really, yeah.
Like, and then like another movie that's like probably like the one that's affected me maybe the most was Strangers. Back,
Oh yeah.
I don't know how long ago that was, but that was like when we were in high school, right, Gary? When we went to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is just so basic. It's just literally people stalking a family, and it's just so easy as how realistic that is. So it's like that's the only time like a horror film can actually get to me is stuff like that.
The realism.
Yeah. Like literally, a guy could be ringing our doorbell with a haystack on his face, and I'm like, "All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm leaving." I'm locking myself in something. Nobody open the doors. Our power's probably gonna go out. Just everyone get ready.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I have to ask you on music real quick, only because you know what? They don't make the music like they used to. Because if you think about horror of back then, they all had some iconic
theme song,
whether it's Halloween, The Exorcist, Jason, Freddy. Everyone had a good theme song, and now, I mean, there's only a couple that I like as far as like the creepy music to go along with it, which would probably be like Insidious or The Conjuring, maybe.
Yeah, those. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Like with this one, it's so basic and so easy. It's probably like the easiest song you could ever make, and probably made the most money ever, because this is what 6 notes.
Yeah,
you just use 6 notes.
Still makes you like get goosebumps and stuff when you hear that Michael Myers theme song. You cannot say that you're not like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like as I was saying, like that theme song is like a trigger for me. Every time I hear it, I'm like, no, like it gives me goosebumps. Like I hate it. And it's just like so easy. Like I could literally just pull up a piano and play it. Like it's just so simple. And
do it then.
well, I don't have one on me right now, so.
Oh.
I said if I could pull up a piano, I could play it. It's very simple though. I've done it a few times. I don't know why. I torture myself. Was there anything else in y'all's notes I wanted to bring up before we close out?
Yes.
Go for it, Gary. Come on, keep bringing them up.
I'm just gonna keep pooping on modern horror movies.
Okay.
Although I do like you mentioned, like modern horror movies are gore and violence. I love gore and violence, like Hostel, Hills Have Eyes. I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are some of my my favorite horror movies. I just want to say, like, also, not only is this movie original and just older horror is better in so many ways, I think this movie specifically is really smart and really funny. like there are so many times where John Carpenter is commenting on this movie with music. Like in the beginning, Jamie Lee Curtis is walking down the street while Michael is watching her, and she's singing, "I wish I had you all alone, just the two of us." Mm-hmm. Like she's singing this song when they're in the car with her friend and they're smoking weed, like smoking a joint. They're getting chased by him unknowingly, and "Don't Fear the Reaper" is coming on the radio.
Yeah.
So there's so many instances in this movie where he uses music, he uses the television to like comment on the movie and what's happening. And it's awesome. It's smart. It's smarter than other horror movies, like in modern times. Like you said, modern horror is the jump scare, almost like EDM music is the drop. It's formulaic. Everyone knows what to expect. Everyone knows what's happening next. And that's why I like modern horror movies, because it's more original. At the end of the day, it's more original, and it makes it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Also, they comment, again, more commentary. They talk about fate. She's in her classroom while the teacher is talking about fate. And I feel like at the end of the movie, he's gone, but you still hear his breathing, and they go through scene by scene of where he's been throughout the movie. And I think that ties into fate and what's inevitable. He's disappeared for now, but it's inevitable that he's coming back.
Yeah.
For some reason, fate has landed with this town, well, for obvious reasons, but it's inevitable he's going to come back year after year. And I like that because it starts in the beginning through just like a classroom lesson, and it ties in with the rest of the movie. So again, like, it's just, this movie is too smart for like modern horror movies. Modern horror movies are dumb.
Yeah.
Damn it, you see what I'm talking about? You hit it right there.
Yeah. Although there are some dumb parts. Okay.
There's plenty of dumb parts.
like Annie, the girl that is cooking popcorn and has to get naked because she spilled butter all over herself. Like she goes to her car, opens up the door handle, and it's not opening. She's like, "Oh, keys." She goes, gets her keys, comes back with the keys, and it's open this time. She didn't even use the keys to open her car door. It's just open this time. It's like an error in the movie that doesn't make any sense.
Or an error in this girl's brain, but
I don't know. Maybe. Also, Lori is making pumpkins with the kids. She's like, "Let's carve some pumpkins." They never carve them.
Yeah.
She does the whole thing herself.
Yeah, I never saw them carving it. They were too busy on the TV or whatever.
Yeah. Which is fine.
They went forward a little bit on that one.
Maybe they did. I don't know.
Maybe they didn't have the budget to do that.
They didn't have enough pumpkins. Okay, we got one pumpkin for this movie. Damn it!
They already they just hired like a professional that already cut it for them because they didn't want to risk them messing it up. Or also because they're kids, they can only film a certain amount of time. So
maybe before their bedtimes.
Yeah. Oh, because they have restrictions on how long a kid can film. So.
Oh, that is true.
So there's that.
Even though it was a low budget film, though, the turnaround though on this, $70 million.
Nice.
Yeah, it made a lot.
The highest grossing movie at the time, for the time period.
Is this the only movie
they paid like $100,000?
Like, is this like the only movie where I feel like I've never seen an old scary movie where the slasher, the killer, is driving? Like, I was kind of surprised that he was driving a vehicle. I was like, holy, when does that happen?
I think Michael's the only one.
Jeepers Creepers? Does that count?
Oh, well.
Well, okay.
That was 90s, right?
I'll take that one.
I was scared of him.
Jeepers Creepers is pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
I still think of it like Jeepers Creepers, where do you get your peepers? Yeah.
Jeepers.
I'm more scared of when the lady sings it.
Yeah.
The older lady, like the lady when she sings, oh, okay, now you're creeping me out. The song definitely bothers me now.
You the fuck out.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Yeah, I think that's the only time though. Does Chucky ever drive?
Yes. I think like when he has his bride in the later movies, he's driving a vehicle.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Jason don't.
He does. Yeah, he does drive it. He like uses someone's foot to push down on the bike.
Oh, I remember.
On
He like
the accelerator.
he cut off the foot, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's disturbing. Carrot's face is like, what the fuck?
Like, why doesn't he use his own damn foot? But
He can't reach.
Because he's a doll.
He's like this. He's this tall.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Chucky?
Yeah, Chucky.
Yeah.
I think you said Jason or something.
No.
No, well, he was referring to Chucky, but I was mentioning Jason, and he went back to Chucky. And Freddy Krueger clearly don't drive because he's in everyone else's dreams, except for when he's in Freddy versus Jason. But
Space.
no, that's about it. What else you got?
I have one more thing just because I want to make dinner and I have to pee.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so I watched Aliens the other day, and then before that I watched Alien for the first time, like both movies.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that there are not a lot of like female kick-ass male equivalent actors? Because in Alien and Aliens, like Sigourney Weaver is a badass, and she's more badass than like her male counterparts. I know like Jamie Lee Curtis, this movie and mostly later on too, like she seeks revenge, and she's like ready to go with all these weapons. Even like Michelle Rodriguez sort of is kind of like an action star. But I was thinking of like female actresses who basically promote like a male energy and like should be like a Schwarzenegger or someone else on screen, and like women who kick ass essentially in movies.
So we're
Like,
talking specifically action, or you're talking specifically horror?
No, I'm talking action. I'm talking about, well, I guess both. I'm talking like movies where the main lead is a female and she's badass and more badass than her male counterparts. Like she is what like Schwarzenegger is to the
like,
male world.
Like what's her name with Freddy Krueger?
I don't know.
Nancy to Freddy Krueger.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why do you think there aren't more females doing this? Like, because it's obvious that the world has accepted that we can have these characters and like support like female, badassery.
So the only thing I could think of would be like specifically at this time. I think it was more. I want to say it's because the directors were trying to shock everyone, so you're not expecting the girl to be able to handle it, which is like how like Sigourney Weaver did, and then Jamie Lee Curtis. Even in the next few movies, like she's not so much the damsel in distress as like she kind of plays off to be, but action wise, like I feel like they started doing more and more. Like you have the other movies like you have Furiosa from Mad Max.
Yeah, because past these three, I couldn't think of that many females that fit.
The only thing I can think of like specifically as to like what we have like with badasses now, we have Furiosa from Mad Max. We have I can't really say Scarlett Johansson from
Black Widow.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard for that one because
it's kind of cheating when they're a superhero.
Yeah, it's cheating when they're superheroes. I was also thinking of Ghost. I was also thinking of Ghost in the Shell, but that's also kind of cheating as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to say only because the fact that people are so used to using the girls as like the damsel in distress, which is why like in every horror film it's usually a girl that's in trouble, not a guy. The guys get killed anyway, so I don't know.
Because it's obvious that it's not totally a sexism thing, because they're iconic movies, they're iconic roles, and we've accepted that they can kick ass and like support them, but there's not a lot of them.
Go ahead, Karen.
Hush.
Hush?
Yeah, the girl that's deaf.
Oh, I forgot
I
about that one. I forgot about that one. But then also, You're Next. I thought about You're Next as well. That's another one where the girl's like...
Yeah.
And then Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking, Ready or Not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Your Next is.
It's a horror film where like they're all like at a dinner and somebody's killing them, and then this girl, like everyone's family is like getting... Like, everyone in that family is dying, and then she's, like, they're kicking ass. I don't know. So, there's not too much. I think that's also another question that we could probably answer in the next one if we can think about it. If we want to sit down and think about it. The next thing we're doing is the sequel to this one. Well, at least the most recent sequel.
Which is what?
Halloween 2018.
Is that what we're doing next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
That's the direct sequel to this?
So there's a timeline. So the easiest way to say this is there's a total of 3 timelines. One of them is the Rob Zombie's timeline. That's that whole other timeline. Then on this one, you have Halloween. This one that we just saw, and then there's Halloween 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and then Halloween, and then 2018 Halloween. Those are the 3
Where does
timelines.
Halloween Town fit into this?
Absolutely nowhere. It does not fit in anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
No.
But this is the Jamie Lee Curtis sequel.
Yeah.
it's still Jamie Lee Curtis. It's the one that you were talking about where you saw her with guns and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw that at your apartment.
Too. Not only her, but John Carpenter himself. Like, I'm so glad they got them too. It would have been cool to have Dr. Loomis in the original, but God rest him.
Yeah, he passed away. I'm sad.
But you know what though? The guy who played Dr. Loomis in Rob Zombie's movie, I fucking loved him.
He did
I
good.
liked him.
He was great. Oh, he could have been in this one if they would have brought him back like a Dr. Loomis character.
All right, so let me go ahead and close this out. And then...
Could have brought that back Danny Trejo too.
Michael!
Come on, Mikey!
Alrighty. With that being said, we'll see y'all next week with the next Halloween sequel. We're on the Instagram and the Twitter, so go ahead and give us some comments on there. Let us know how we're doing. Message us. Let us know what you want to see. Maybe we could bring someone else's, like some more guests in as well. Yeah. Also, you can invite your girlfriend, dude. And also, like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. Y'all have yourself a good night.